Hello, everybody. Welcome to Painting Happy Little Minis. I'm Gretchen.
I'm Dave.
And you may notice that we are switching up the format a little bit, and I am calling in from home. I happen to have interacted recently with someone who tested positive for COVID. So I am going to be at home until I get a confirmation that I do not, in fact, have COVID. So safety first, guys.
Safety first, indeed. Even now, 19, 20, 30 years into this pandemic, we're still concerned with safety. So I hope everybody is doing well. The music is so serious.
It really is.
Yeah, I think I need to get a new theme song.
Like the before the
before
the super
show.
electric guitar.
It's like a crazy part in a movie or something. It's like
Right. Okay.
Need sound music.
Is it? Oh, who am I thinking of? Who did the score for Last Man Standing?
Ooh, I'll look it up.
By the movie with Bruce Willis, which was kind of the Western / Prohibition gangster homage to Yojimbo. I have to find out who that was. But yeah, very much like that. Excellent. Let's say hi to Jason, hi to JT, hi to Betsy, and hi to Kat. Kat says another week of traveling, so I get to see you, get to watch Yippee Skippy. Excellent. I'm so glad you're able to join us, Kat. Very cool. But, what are we going to be painting today? I know what I'm going to be painting. What are you going to be painting, Gretchen?
I am going to be painting, surprise of all surprises, this dinosaur that I had in my house.
Yep.
And I'm going to give it a repaint. I washed it, as so many people last time reminded me that it makes things easier. And you're right, it does. Yep. Paint is sticking so nicely.
Fantastic. Awesome.
But,
awesome. Yeah. And I am going to be painting one of the Saurus lizard men. I say lizard men. I should be saying, here's the box. Serphon is the new Age of Sigmar name for them from Warhammer, from Games Workshop. So I've got one of these dudes, so the Saurus warriors, carrying a standard. So we get to show off their nice little. Sorry, just looking off to the side because I have a. Oh,
I'm trying to make it better.
Leota's going around with providing more cable for my earpiece, and had the earpiece in so that I can hear Gretchen at home. It all makes sense. It's perfectly fine. And we're testing this out as well for when I'm going to be in Australia.
Yep.
And it's 4 weeks.
Really, it was all perfect timing.
4 weeks until I leave.
Wow.
Yep. It's going to be crazy. Crazy times. So, yeah. Ooh, we're almost there.
Yeah, I think now you could almost do both if you wanted.
I could lean over like this. Look at that. Look how much range of motion I have now. It's very cool. Going to turn back to the chat. Jason says, here in Wisconsin, we can get over the counter COVID tests. We can get those here in Maryland as well. They're good for letting you know if you do have it. They're really good on the positives. False negatives can be an issue. So I know out here a lot of
my work doesn't accept it.
Yeah, a lot of employers, schools don't accept those. You got to get the PCR test, which are the ones that take a couple of days to get back. So they're also the ones that you need to get for flying internationally as well. So there is that. Is it possible for Gretchen to add a little bit more light? So we can.
It is not. I looked. I don't have. I could be backlit really well from that sign behind me.
Oh wait, something just happened there. We just got. Oh yeah. Oh, you're brightening the screen. Nice.
Really?
Look at that. Good work.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Excellent.
my ring light that I used to have that I would set up, Calcifer decided to jump through it like a circus performer, and it broke.
Yep, it would. My goodness. Is Calcifer okay?
Oh, he's fine.
Of
He's
course.
I have no idea. Usually, if I'm painting minis, he's like, I want to eat those minis. I don't know where he went though. I expect, since he hasn't had dinner yet, though, that at some point he will realize that I am sitting here not giving him dinner,
Right.
and that will change.
Yeah. Yeah. He would recognize that pretty quickly, I think. James is here. Hi, James. Jason wants to know, will this one get a Sam Neill cutie mark? This your dinosaur.
Maybe I was thinking about maybe doing a Winter Wonderland theme. I don't know, like an ice velociraptor. Does that sound cool to you guys? I think it kind of sounds cool.
I got to admit, as soon as you said,
I love
as soon as
that.
Jason said like Sam Neill, I was thinking maybe instead of Jeff Goldblum, cutie mark in the reclining pose. That would be great.
Man. I mean, this is a bigger dinosaur. Right? More
It is. You got room for it. I think you can do it. I have faith.
Also, Dave, it was Charles Barnett.
Charles Barnett.
Yep, that was who did the music.
Okay.
By the way.
Cool. Excellent. Thank you very much. That'd be good. And I can also tell at the moment that Mel Bose, the terrain tutor, my good friend and partner in Terrain Essentials Crime, must be having a live stream at the moment. Because, pardon? Why? How can I tell that?
How can you tell?
Because of the loads of people who would come over.
Oh my!
From YouTube, Mel has sent everybody from YouTube to say Dave needs a bigger brush. Hey Dave, you need a bigger brush. And all I can say is, thank you. Welcome to Painting Happy Little Minis. I'm not sure if Mel's show is still going and you guys are all going to run back there, or if you're going to stay here and join us. But if you are staying here and join us, you need to paint. So get out your minis or your terrain, whatever you happen to be working on at the moment, whatever your project is, and jump in with us. That'd be cool. So, yep, everybody who's here. Oh, Josh is here. Sorry, just going to say hi. Gary. Dave needs a bigger brush. Have you been watching Mel's show too? Fantastic. Was Mel doing work on the trading post? I know he put together an MDF trading post building for his big Burma build. So I'm hoping that he's been working on that. It'll look very cool once that's done. Oh, he's done, Dave. Oh, he's done over to me. Fantastic. Excellent. Yeah, oh my goodness. What time is it? It's midnight. Ooh, there we go. Midnight over in the UK. So, very cool. Or is it 11 p.m.? Has your daylight savings changed now? It hasn't yet? Not sure. We're always we're in that wonky time of the year where things are going to be a bit different. So, all good. But as we mentioned earlier, for everybody who has just joined us, Gretchen is painting from home today, and you're painting up a dinosaur.
I'm painting a velociraptor that I got
Velociraptor.
as a 20-year-old from a little dollar store type thing.
Okay. Nice.
So we're gonna make him look brand new.
That'll be cool. That'll be very good. And I am painting up a Saurus warrior from the Serphon armies from Warhammer Age of Sigmar. So, Jason said, I'm pretty sure neither Dave nor Gretchen are painting an orc. We are not painting an orc this week. Did you see the orcs we painted last week? I think you were here, Jason. You saw us. So there's the guy I painted last week. And Gretchen's is on the other side of the spinner over there. So it's a little bit too far to reach right now. But yeah, so we've done some orc for October.
Oh yeah, I see because it's on the screen.
Yep. Oh, does it say? Oh, that's where it is. Okay, Jason. Yep. With that one, just send a little message. Say, Leona, change the title. Yep, that is my bigger brush. No, just kidding. I have a bigger brush than that. There it is. Cool. So all good. So yes, we're going to be working on lizards, I guess, for Lizardtober. For Lizardtober. Okay.
I mean, they're not really lizards, are they? Because they're dinosaurs.
Should I use this one? What's that one? That's probably like a 2-inch brush.
I challenge you to do
You
it.
challenge me to use the. I'm not going to. I don't think I'll use that one. I will use the round, the big round one though. Okay. A little paint on the end there. Where is it there? There we go. Some it off. Really not designed for this size. Oh, but look, it'll take me like 2 seconds to dry brush it. I'll have absolutely zero control.
It's just everywhere.
It is. Gotta love it. Everywhere but where I need it to be.
Yeah. That is the fastest.
It is incredible, isn't it? Just to go up a brush size or 7.
That is incredibly fast.
And I might throw a little bit of yellow into that turquoise. Absolutely zero control. And on the screen, it looks super electric green. It's not really that green in real life. We're going to add a little bit of Vallejo ivory as well.
Oh, it's not?
No. No, so our colors are a bit, I think, probably a bit too yellow on them. Oh, that's looking better. Yeah, that's closer. Yep.
Gonna let that dry for a bit.
I'm done. I can go home now. That's what you get with a bigger brush. You get to go home early. I think it'll be fine. Absolutely fine. I don't know. Can you see any of the chat at all, Gretchen?
I can see the chat down on the edge of the screen. I can't actually see it like in a little chat. I can only see what's up on the actual. Graham says, "Oh, the sweet sound of dry brush on Minnie."
Yep. Gotta love
Let me
it.
see if I can send you the chat or something. Let's see if I can do that.
Cause like I have a little chat room, but I think it's for Vimeo.
That's so that you can chat with me, which isn't super helpful.
Is there a little tab at the top? Is it going through Restream or?
It's going through Restream.
Oh, okay. Was that the one we were using over the summer or earlier
no,
this
that's
year?
StreamYard.
StreamYard.
Is what
okay.
we were using at the summer. Over the summer, excuse me.
StreamYard had the two.
Yeah, StreamYard
tabs.
let you see both.
But okay, so there we go. That is the problem with going too fast. I don't know what to do now.
I think there are 4 minis
You do,
for you.
but I was just going to work on one tonight. But I'll get started on this one now on the banner. So we've got there's quite a bit of work to do on that, and I can still go in and sort of hand paint some details on that face. Get some additional highlighting in there. Still quite a lot of details that I can work in. But if you are working on an army of these, you can see how quickly you could go through and just get a great result really, really quickly. But yeah, looking good. So anyway, talking about what people are working on. Let's see. Robert Evans saying, Superfly checking in. I'm painting barded wire holders for Cyberpunk. Barded wire holders? Don't know what they are. But it's Cyberpunk, so that's cool. Real Mech Druid is working on several lances of battle mechs. Very good. I know that it's Battletech's had a bit of a resurgence recently. Robert Evans, do they have feathers? Are you talking about this one? This guy has some feathers at the top of the banner pole, but unfortunately, Gretchen's Velociraptor does not have feathers.
Mine is literally a victim of 90s dinosaur issue. So mine, if I hold him up here, his tail, if I go like this, you can see how it's like super fluid and like almost like kind of looks like a snake. They probably wouldn't do that. And it's suffering from what looks like a broken wrist, which is a big indicator that it was inspired by the that and the tail. It was probably inspired by the Jurassic Park Velociraptors before they sculpted this, to be honest, because about after that time, all of the depictions of the Velociraptors had the broken wrists and the super fluid, like whippy tails, and just non-accurate things to how the skeletons would actually be. And it all came about after like Jurassic Park. Like I would bet money, I would bet big dollars that because of Jurassic Park, like all of the types of dinosaurs toys that you see in the 90s, whether or not they're from they're based from the movie, were probably based on the movie.
Yep. Excellent. So say hi to Timothy Bowers. Good evening. Sorry I'm late. I think. Okay. Yes. Oh, sorry, I missed that one. So I was talking about looking up ads for Artex supplies in the US, and they keep getting ads for house painting equipment. So that's definitely a bigger brush, without a doubt. Roger Moore's in here.
Gretchen, I sent you a link to the Twitch chat, and if you open that up in a separate, I sent it through Facebook, and if you open it up on a separate tab, you should be able to follow along, or like you can kind of like minimize it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just so that then you can at least see what people.
Kat says, Dave, going back home with taking all your paints and minis, have fun in customs. No, I won't be taking all my paints and minis. I'll be taking, I think I'm going to go for the 5-color challenge sort of thing while I'm there. So I'll have 5 paints and a couple of paintbrushes and minis that I will be able to do just using the 5 basic colors. Should be good. James said,
Mini Masters? Do you have your Mini Masters? Like Studio? Is that what it's called?
The Studio X?
Yeah, the Studio X.
No, Studio X is they're still wrapping up production on that, and then we've got shipping from China to the US and then out to backers.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. But no, I wouldn't take anything that big for an international flight. But yeah, customs won't be an issue. Customs will be fine.
Cool.
Tamsin's in. Hey, Tamsin says not painting right now. JT is just relaxing and watching. No painting tonight. Oh, see, there's football later. Yeah, JT will be going to watch the football later. That's true. But no, if I'm not painting, I'm not relaxing. That's the way it goes. Mini Max says he probably got in a fight with some gerbils. I'm assuming that's the Velociraptor with the broken wrists. Timothy says we'll be painting our orals tonight. Ed Evans says maybe the Jurassic Park director shopped in the dollar store. I keep craning over like this because we've moved the screen around, but it's put the it's all the things that we've shuffled around. Anyway, Ed Evans says maybe the Jurassic Park art director shopped in the dollar store and was inspired by the toy. That's quite possible. Quite possible. Robert Evans says barbed wire holders. Okay, holders for barbed wire. So you've the little things that then you then go wrap the barbed wire around after you've finished painting them.
I can move the chat over here. Do you want that?
Cool. That'd be cool, yeah. Okay. That'd be great. Timothy Bauer says orcs. So we're painting our orcs tonight. Fantastic. Paul Wildman says Jurassic Park, the Velociraptors also had a longer snout. Looks like yours is short and stubby. Quite possibly. Yep. It's moving over, people. It's moving to this side. There we go. Awesome.
Can you see it okay?
Yes, I can see that okay now. Oh, almost now. Glare off that. There we go. That's good. That's good.
Also, we can turn this off because Gretchen, this is a light for Gretchen.
Okay, yeah. There we go. Sorry, Gretchen, we turned your light off.
Oh, no.
Hope you're okay. Kat says, we are going to join you in a 5-paint challenge. You are more than welcome to, Kat. More than welcome to. But we wouldn't want to restrict anybody to just 5 colors. Unless we are doing a very specific 5-color paint challenge. That was a lot of fun working on that, I think. I think we both came up with some cool results.
Yeah, what mini was that?
Yeah.
What mini was that?
They were D&D minis. And I had a guy that had a flaming sword. Ended up giving him like a green flaming sword. And purple. Like warlock purple. Or something like that. The almost magenta color was the secret additional 6th color that the chat voted for. So we added that there. Excellent. JT says bingo, Dave. So I think we did a good tag team job on that, Leona. Knowing that JT is going to be going to watch the football after the show. Timothy says 5-color challenge sounds like a great streaming segment. Yep. All good. And she said, I just remembered Leona had Archon.
Oh yeah, remember I painted the Great and the Great?
Yeah. I remember now.
Yeah, I painted Archon the Great.
Yep.
Still have that mini. And he's my prize possession.
Cool.
The only mini I like that I've painted. Which aren't very many.
Is that was the one where you were struggling with the non-metallic metal, right?
Yes. But in the end, I painted a dark wash over it.
Yeah.
And then highlighted it a little bit. And it looked... Well, actually, no. I put a dark wash over it, and then I put tinny tin or like a silver, and then it looked great.
Okay, cool.
Because I just didn't care about the non-metallic metal.
Excellent. Ed Evans said, I've got to spread some sculpt the mold on some ruins. Not brave enough to do that near my computer. That sounds like a good idea, yes. Do it away from your computer. But thanks for being Mel's friend, Dave. You're welcome, Ed. I think it's definitely a cool thing to be Mel's friend. Graham Wood says, a 6th color? Heresy! Yes, that's what we indulged in. We indulged in a little bit of heresy. It was quite good. Kelsey said, you're going to be painting up these up for my son once I'm mostly caught up with my Stormcast. I think do you mean the Saurus Warriors? From the Did You Get the Serphon Start Collecting box? Which is huge. So we painted some stuff from this earlier in the year, I think. But yeah, we'd like to keep it around because it has dinosaurs in it. And Gretchen loves the dinosaurs.
I do love the dinosaurs.
Excellent. Oh, and Ashlyn says, Kitty jumped down, so now I get to paint. Fantastic. Very good to have you join us in some painting. Now, I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do with the that little snake motif there, so I don't know whether I should. I think I should probably do it 2 different colors, so I can have kind of like the belly of the snake and then the diamond pattern on the back of it. So to start with, I've just sort of base coated it there in tinny tin, and the first color I'm going to go in with is brassy brass to highlight some sections of it. But should I do the brassy brass on the belly of the snake or the back of the snake? What do you say? What say you, chat? We have 30 seconds. Go. Kat says, non-metallic metal, is that like plastic grass or jumbo shrimp? It is, Kat. It's exactly like those things. Imagine metal, but the opposite of it. No, non-metallic metal is, it's the 2D art technique, I guess, technique/effect applied to miniatures. So doing painting metallic areas without using a metallic paint, but just using sort of regular colored paints to get a metallic effect. Kelsey says, yes, the Serphon collector's box. My son is absolutely obsessed with dinosaurs.
As they should be.
Gretchen should meet besties. I think they would be. But should be good. So we haven't had anybody say whether they think it should be the front or the back. What do you think, Gretchen? Should I go for the metallic on the back or the front?
On the back.
Metallic on the back? On the
Yep.
back scales?
Just pure
And then
instinct.
Okay. And then go for something like a bone sort of color for the
Yeah.
front, the belly? Okay. Let's do it that way then. So I'm just going to come along and start picking out these diamonds in there. But that should be good. Excellent. So, Gretchen, you got up to something fun over the weekend?
I did.
What happened? Tell us.
So I went over the weekend. I was in another independent horror film from the same company. They're doing one called Go Away. And I got to be one of the victims from the previous time the bad guys were in a house.
Okay.
It's kind of like a little bit of a prequel thing going on there. And it was very fun. I got to help out with some of their stunt choreography, like very minor stuff. And I got to do a bunch of break falls on a very fluffy mat. Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time.
Excellent. Was there much chatter about Halloween?
There wasn't, actually.
No?
No.
Interesting. Was everyone just hyper-focused?
Yeah, everyone was trying to get done. It was one of the last scenes left to film. So we were trying to push for it. And it was kind of funny because I usually have all my lines memorized and stuff. And this time I had them memorized, but it was so late at night and I was so slap happy that I just couldn't say them in the right order. Like I told the director, I was like, I have this memorized, but I am not a night owl. I go to bed early, guys. When we paint on the show, I go home and then I just go to bed. And so it was like, 2 a.m. and, we're filming and I am just like doing my best to look like a distraught person and not like just fall over into giggles.
Nice.
But I was unsuccessful for some of it. For some of it, it was just giggles. But overall, it was fun, and I got to see some of my castmates from a previous previous production, and yeah, I got to play a different character, um, and kind of do a little bit more fighting back this time.
Right. Rather than
For
just
this,
all the running.
they
You
were
did a lot
still
of
running. They really like to have me do a lot of cardio. I don't know what it is about me and this film crew. Um, but we did a lot of cardio. You know, like I said, I did a couple throws. The HEMA came in handy because there wasn't exactly like a fight choreographer on site.
Right.
So I kind of spoke a little bit to the director and a little bit to the actor who I would be working with about how to most safely go about those throws while still looking very dramatic. And we came up with some very simple things that look like I'm getting all beat up, but in reality, it almost would have been better if he would have been a little bit like, he was so afraid to hurt me.
Right.
Everyone was so afraid. I was like, it's okay, I wrestle. I have literally meddled in this. It's okay. And they're like, no, you are small. But I appreciated how much everyone was respectful of kind of, you know, those more violent scenes, and how much everyone in this horror film wanted to make sure that I was absolutely okay during the entire filming process. That's really important, especially when you're filming horror in general or anything that's going to be violent, whether it's battle scenes or, you know, burglar is in the house or whatnot. You want to make sure that you always have a good crew for that. And yeah, we kind of just
Right.
went for it and had a lot of fun. And I got to fall around on the mat. And
Cool.
Curry said, "You should have told them you dual wield. Then it's no holds barred." I didn't. Well, no, I did. I get a knife at one point. I do get a stabby utensil, but my character doesn't get to keep it, unfortunately.
Right.
She makes bad decisions, which is why she almost ends up getting to live. But ultimately, it's the prequel guys. We know that everyone in the beginning scene is the unfortunate victim of circumstance.
Spoiler alert.
Um,
Really? I know. That's all fine. All fine.
but yeah, and as it turns out, my co-actor for all of those scenes was Jeremy Spencer, who is was the drummer, the original drummer and founding member of Five Finger Death Punch.
Oh, really? Wow.
So yeah, that was cool. Got to meet him.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of you guys followed them in like 2005. I was just surprised that I actually knew of that band because not everyone did. And I didn't really listen to a lot of rock music growing up, but I had heard of the band before, and I was like, ah, I've heard of this.
I've heard of you.
It felt special.
That is cool.
I was like,
Yeah.
I was a cool teenager once. Yeah. But yeah, he was a very pleasure to work with, terrified of actually hurting me. But you know what? That's better than working with someone who doesn't care if they hurt you.
Much better.
And it was really nice to work through those scenes and have everyone really work together to make sure that they came out appropriately. So
That's cool. That's good. Excellent. We'll look forward to
yeah, it's fun
catching this
time.
one as well. Nice. So that's
Yeah,
is that
well, I found
number
out
2, number 3, number 2,
that's
number
number
3.
three, and I found out that
Three.
Bloody
My goodness.
Summer Camp, they're actually talking to some different streaming services
Oh, cool.
about possibly picking it up. I don't think I can say more than that. I mean, obviously I can because I didn't sign an NDA, but I think they'd be mad at me if I did.
Sure. Well, I'm going to guess that maybe Shudder might look at it because that's
So,
the
yeah.
horror focused one. But that's just me speculating. I don't know anything, and I haven't signed any
You're never
NDA, so
signed
I wouldn't be stuck with it. So, but we're all good. I was going to check
I
the chat for
remember
a second.
Breakball from Aikido. Yes.
Paul Wildman says ceramic paint color scheme. I'm hoping you're going to talk about the front of the snake there. So I'll see if it comes out a little bit porcelain-like. JT says, I failed you, Dave. I missed the question. LOL. That's about the question of whether it was to go with the front or the back. That's okay. We've made a decision. We've moved on. Next time you'll be there for me, JT. Ashlyn says, I wanted to be a paleontologist when I was 6. Everyone loves dinosaurs. They do indeed. What age is it that we have that beaten out of us? For Gretchen, never.
I never had that happen. The only thing stopping me was honestly not having enough programs nearby.
All right. Okay.
And also I wanted to work with living animals just a smidge more than dead ones.
Right. Well, that would certainly change.
So,
Yeah. Change the focus there. For sure. Timothy Bauer says, I remember break falls from Aikido. When he did Aikido, and he sucked at them. That's a shame.
I recommend,
if you're going to be doing a lot of them.
Even if you don't do martial arts, I highly recommend learning break falls, because regardless of if you partake in any combative activity, knowing how to fall outside of those activities, just in general, has saved me from injury so many times. And just knowing how to fall has saved me from injury. I think everyone should learn how to do them.
I agree.
And it's a lot of my friends that do HEMA as well and who know how to break fall have also, when they're just walking somewhere or just clumsiness strikes at any time. You never know. But because we practice break falls, they instantly put the arms out, they tuck the chin, they do everything they're supposed to do, and they end up preventing more serious injury because of it. So I recommend everybody learn. Go to
That sounds very very sensible. I take the more sensible approach, what I think is the more sensible approach of not leaving my house.
Yeah, but I've fallen down the stairs multiple times.
Well,
only saved myself through the break falls there.
That's good. That's good. I have not fallen down the stairs at my house. No matter how many times my wife has pushed me. Just kidding. She hasn't pushed me at all. Gary says, Dave, that looks like an Aztec banner you're painting. Yeah, so it's a banner from the Saurus warriors, who are definitely heavily influenced by, their design is heavily influenced by a lot of the Mesoamerican cultures. So the Aztecs and the Mayans and the Incas, predominantly. So, yeah, that's looking pretty neat there. Now I just need to build up the front part to more of a bone kind of look. Just looking at the back of the box, it's they've got one that's a bit more of a red color. But I think I'll skip that. Do something else. Should be fun. Jason said you should have told them you dual wield. Then it's no holds barred. You imagine being there with 2 kitchen knives, 2 chef's knives. You could have been fantastic. Absolutely awesome. Dave Hummel says, howdy all. Howdy. FFDP, awesome, says Timothy Bowers. Again, I raise my eyebrow. Catswave said, never grow out of dino love. My daughter at 22 got her raptor tattoo on her thigh. She's now a pretty pediatrician, so sort of an adult.
See, I'm
pretty sure you do have to be an adult to be a pediatrician. Yeah?
I've thought about it. Yeah, I can't think of any design that I would want permanent on my body. I get very picky about tattoo choices.
Right.
For myself, not for others.
Yeah.
For others, I'm just like, do what your heart desires. But like, I don't like it, the idea of like anything too cartoony.
Right. Well, I think the danger, of course, with getting a dinosaur design would be that if, like, in 20 years, paleontologists went, oh, we got it wrong. They actually looked like this. And you're there like, oh my goodness. And if you go on to one of those cover-up shows and get them to cover it up with a...
more scientifically accurate. That's not probably the worst thing that they would have had to do. They just probably think it was really weird. I feel like what you should do in that case, if it's like that important to you though, is if you just got another tattoo. So like you just, every time they updated, you just got like, and you just had like one of those like Darwin fish things, except with the different dinosaurs.
That'd be great. Oh my goodness, we've got a strange delay occurring.
I'm sorry.
Did that go out live? Did that strange delay go out live? Ooh.
No, I don't think so.
At first I thought it was just Gretchen repeating herself. And then it was, then I heard me, my disembodied voice.
No, I think it was, I think it was just through the computer.
Okay.
So you heard it. Yeah. Sorry about that.
All good. No worries.
If you get a Jurassic Park tattoo, it'll already be scientifically inaccurate.
I thought the only Jurassic Park tattoo I've thought of is like the Velociraptor skeleton from the very beginning opening sequence. But I just don't know, like, here's my thing with it though. I think that you could do the outline and have it look delicate and pretty and things that I would personally like in a tattoo. But because it's so intricate, in order for it to age without turning into a blob, you'd have to get it quite large. And I don't know if I'd want it that big in order to keep all those little details as it aged.
Right.
Because I think too hard about tattoos. Like, I have one. Like, I obviously, like, get one. But I always get very nitpicky. Like, how will it age? How will this happen?
Right.
Before I commit.
That's cool.
And I also don't know where I would get it. Like, I feel like that's also a thing that I'm like, I don't really have a place where I would be like, yes.
Right. That's fine, I think.
And I feel like if I can't commit to, like, those things, then I shouldn't get the tattoo.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Absolute sense. It's not like we're setting you a deadline or anything. Because we're not. We're not people.
Gretchen, by the time you get back to the show, we expect you to have a fully done tattoo. We're not paying for any of it.
I'm not saying what Johnny's going to say, but he might say that. No. That'd be fine. That'd be all good. But there we go. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Josh Potter says, working on Hotel Room Deathcore of Krieg. No worries, I kept them in a separate tote from the Hotel Room Iron Warriors. You don't want those guys fighting in between hotel rooms. You got to make sure you do keep them separate. Yes, Paul Wildman says the other thing about tattoos, they tend to age with the host. What was once a vicious dinosaur in 40 years will look like a chicken with the back issues. That's possible. This is true. I like to trust my tattoo artist and that sort of thing. Dave Humble says, yay, free base in my Centurion box. It's the little things. It is really nice to get an extra 50mm round base because they're not too common. So nice to have another one of those. Ashlyn says, I get a tattoo for every place I visited, like an old steamer trunk. Like old steamer trunk stickers.
I love that, though.
My left leg is a road map. Fantastic.
That's such a fun idea.
That is cool.
I love that kind of stuff.
Yep. The last time I was in getting a tattoo, there was another guy came in one day. My tattoo was my sleeve here that took a few sessions. But he came in one day and he got a little thing done, something like this sort of size. and but it was like the last spot on that particular leg, and then he had basically the tattoo artist went through and did little stars and dots and patterns to blend it all together. So it was good, but yeah, it was like very obvious that that guy had been in the shop quite a number of times. Definitely cool. Josh Potter says the Iron Warriors were being snarky about. Oh, sorry.
Mine. So after I went get my first tattoo, I was given a shot of whiskey and I got to hold a ball python.
Oh, okay.
Because I go to respectable places.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know whether, like, didn't know how long after, like, what the progression was.
Oh, no.
But there was this, like, just like, there we done. Please hold this python, so I didn't have to hold it anymore. Want a shot? That kind of thing. Was that how it went?
It kind of went, so we were there like after hours, and it was very much like and I got a small tattoo. It wasn't large. Because it was $30 for any tattoo that could fit under a business card.
Okay.
So
Yep.
me and a few friends went to go get tattoos all on the same spot.
Right.
So we went to get our little friendship tattoos, and after, as soon as I was done and I was waiting for my friends to finish up, they just kind of handed me a snake and asked if I wanted a shot, and I was like, okay,
Sure.
I guess this is happening. I was 18.
Did it say, is this included in the 30?
Yeah.
Excellent.
I had like just turned 18. I wasn't even old enough to drink yet.
Right. I guess statute of limitations. It's been over 7 years since that happened.
I can't remember even what that place was called or if it still exists.
It sounds like it'd be pretty popular.
So I wouldn't even be able to rat them out if I wanted to.
Right.
That was not, my brain cells weren't keeping up with that information at the time. My brain cells were somewhere else. They were occupied.
It didn't matter. That's fine. Excellent. The tattoo parlor where I got a tattoo in 2004 became a barbershop a year later, and I have been going to that barbershop ever since.
That's fun.
Yep. And I've never been tattooed there again. Okay. Cool. But Josh Potter was saying, yes, the Iron Warriors are being snarky about at least having primer. And the Death Corps don't have their heads attached yet. Oh well. And a grey plastic, but they have weapons. He has seen Night at the Museum, for sure. Kat says, our tattoos are all personal, so they're in places where we control who will be seeing them and when. This is true. We all get to make those decisions. So, this is slowly building up, going through this tan sort of colour, or beige. Not sure. Never sure exactly what colour tan is. I think growing up in Australia, we'd had a different concept of tan. But anyway. Coming along. How's the dinosaur coming along, Gretchen?
Dinosaur is trucking along. He's got some blue on his back now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I want to see if I can make this a little bit more icy looking.
I think
It's been
definitely
very
that.
interesting to see how. So I washed him previously, and then I primed him with a white because I didn't have actual primer. And so the paint is sticking a lot better than previous instances of repainting on dinosaurs.
Okay.
But the contrast paints are really interesting on this.
Oh, which one are you using? Or which ones?
Which ones? I have Soulstone Blue and um, Aethermatic Blue and Achillean Green.
Okay.
That I'm kind of playing with here.
All right.
They're really interesting. They do.
Yeah.
I just like throw my dinosaur on my keyboard. So that's cool.
Yeah.
They have a very like glazy kind of effect to them. I don't know how this is. I don't know
Okay.
what chemical reactions are going on. I just know they're happening, and I'm just gonna work with them.
Just
We're
go
gonna
with
find
it.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. That's good. Speaking of contrast paints, there was an announcement this week from the Army Painter. And the Army Painter didn't use the words contrast paints because I think they're going to be a little bit different. They work similarly, but they made an announcement this week about speed paints.
Ooh.
So early next year, so Q1 next year, they're going to be launching a line called Speed Paints. I think they have a lot of the similar properties to contrast paints, in that they're that they have a. Oh no, not those.
Oh, they're not them?
No. I think we'll talk about those after we have a look at everybody's miniatures.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, no, they. So I think they have pigment suspended in a coloured medium rather than the typical clear medium. So they're similar to a lot of the contrast paints in that way. But they're not exactly the same. And watching a video this morning about it and hearing some folks talk about the different things they use them for, I'm curious to see how what the opacity is like on them. So it seems like they might be a little bit more opaque than a lot of the contrast paints. But it's something they've been working on for a few years. It will be cool. But that picture that Leona just put up is of the air paints, so the airbrush paints that they're releasing this month. And I got to work with some of those earlier this week, and I got some photos to show a little bit later. So we can talk about those. So how's that looking? That's looking all right. So I think I'll be able to put a little bit more colour pop in with some of the feathers. There's a little feather hanging out there, a feather up here. But yeah, at the moment that's looking all right. I should probably take that up a little bit lighter, I think. And I'm going to add a little bit of... where was it? Just there. So the back of his crest, there's a little armoured section. I'll get that done.
Are you aiming? If you guys hear a loud crash on my end, it's because my cat decided to climb the curtains.
Okay. We'll be waiting.
He hasn't done it. He hasn't done it yet, but he's staring at them very intently, and he's doing the wiggle.
Yeah. Excellent.
So we'll see what life choices he makes in the near future.
Excellent. Jumping back to the chat for a second, Josh Potter says, I went to my home away from home, FLGS, which is right next to my hotel, and picked up the Epic Encounters box. Hey. Who says Penny Happy Little Mini doesn't make sales? Nobody. Nobody says that, because they obviously know that we do all the time. Just in case you're listening, boss. JT said, I'm super excited about that range. I really enjoy the Army Painter products. Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting. A lot of the videos that they had of it looked quite cool. Kat, I know it's been a little while. You haven't been paying attention, but I am using the miniature holder. There we go. You failed in acknowledging it, but you picked up on it now.
I found the other one, so we now officially have two.
The other holder?
Mini holder.
Excellent.
So when you're in studio, you both can have a small one.
Excellent.
Yay!
And it was not where I thought it was going to be. It was in a random bin somewhere, which made sense why I couldn't find it. But now I found it. Very happy.
That's fine. All good. There we go. Yeah, so this ivory is looking nice and bright. Which I think will work out pretty well. I'll stick to painting one side first, then and highlight the other side. It's a matter of working out which sections to paint and which ones to leave for a little bit of variety. We'll get there. But I did notice that it is almost 8 o'clock, which means it's time to check out some minis from the group. Do we have some minis from the group this week?
Yep.
Excellent. I love it when a plan comes together. Are you going to be able to see these, Gretchen? Do we know?
Maybe.
Maybe?
We'll find out.
Yeah. Oh, whoops.
Yeah, I can see them.
Excellent. Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, look at that. Yeah. That's where... there we go. It's magically appeared. Very cool. So, first up, it's Blade Guard... what are they called? It's right behind the camera there. I can't see it. Oh. But, Blade Guard Agent. That's it. No. It's just going to test my memory. That's all it's going to do. It'll be fine. From Aaron Roberts. It's looking very cool there. I think, I wonder if the miniature actually comes with all of those scrolls on there. I don't know that it comes with all of them, but it looks like Aaron's done a bit of a conversion there as well, and has replaced the regular banner pole with that twisted wire there. It looks very cool. I'd say that's probably going to be a bit more durable as well. And yeah, Dave Hummel says like that banner pole. It's definitely cool. I bet you if you put it like the point at the top and went, boom, it would go. So, but really nice work there, Aaron. I love the particularly the shading and the weathering on the tabard there down the front, and the glow on those green eyes. Looks very sinister. Nice work. Very cool. Oh, Ashlyn has painted up a Night Haunt here. So it's a chain rasp, I think. And I think Ashlyn was saying that this was... Ashlyn, I think you were saying that this was your first object source lighting. So you can see that bit of ethereal flame on the base. Yeah, looking really cool. I think you've done a really nice job of spinning that out. Gretchen?
I love whenever people send us in like their first time painting something and they absolutely nail it.
Yeah. Yeah. That is super cool, isn't it? Yeah, Ashlyn's done an awesome job here. You've got like just a really nice sort of spread around the Night Haunt there of the OSL. Yeah, great work. Came out wonderfully. Oh, Ayumi has been working on a new way to make bases. Oh, for Monsterpocalypse stuff. This is pretty neat. That looks like acrylic, like an acrylic slab. So I have to wonder: is it a piece of? Did you pour this resin, or is it cut from an acrylic slab? I'm curious. I need to know. I have to go and check out this post and see if there's any more info, or ask Ayumi how she did it. But yeah, looking quite cool. Love that. Is that a bear sort of slash DNA helix? Bear paw. Bear paw DNA sounds like a new kung fu style.
It kind of does.
Yep. But I think you've done a very cool job there. You've encouraged me to learn more. Nice work. Let's make sure I wash that out. And next, who do we have next, Leona? Oh, Betsy is painting up orcs from Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth. So I have to ask, are these all your work, Betsy? Has Tim done one of these? They're looking cool. I like that you've gone for the different skin colors there. They're looking great. And not just the skin colors, but you've mixed things up along the way. And of course, hopefully you did it. They're all mine, says Betsy. They look very cool. And yeah, I was going to say the orange skin with the blue cloth. Had to mention it. But no, looking really nice. I love the axe blades as well. They look very brutal. Nice work, Betsy. Looking great. Oh, Brad Taylor's painted up a Dewback Rider from Star Wars Legion. These look fantastic. I was always, I must admit, I was still always a bit confused by them because they seem to move so slowly. It's like, you can walk a lot faster than riding a Dewback. Maybe they take a little while to warm up and you can eventually go them up to like gecko on hot sand kind of speed. But yeah, this is looking really nice. I'm loving the sort of the depth of that green you've got on there. Looks excellent.
Am I still frozen?
No, you're back. You disappeared for a second
Okay.
there.
Everything froze.
Yep. We have you back. I was like, oh my goodness, the screen's gone dark. But we're all good now. We're all good. Everything's fine. We're all fine here. How are you?
I'm good.
Excellent. But yeah, great work, Brad. That looks really nice. I have to check out what their rules are like in the game.
Sorry,
No, it's fine. You're good.
you said it very, very quiet.
I did. My usual.
Yeah.
Ready to move on to the next line. Sorry, I'll be louder next time.
That's all good.
I'll tilt my head up and look at the microphone. There we go. Excellent. Chris Cox has been working on a custom mobile suit. So this is a Gundam thing. So now, what are those pods at the front? Are they parts of legs? They look like sort of thighs, but at the same time, they might fit onto those arms. I don't know. Dave almost says, what's your operating number? Boring conversation anyway. Tamsin says, gone 1 a.m. here. I'm off to bed now. Glad I was able to hang out here for a bit. Thanks very much for hanging out, Tamsin. Hope things are going well. Good to see your name on the screen. Excellent. JT says, looks like the booster engines from the Tall Geese. Possibly. I don't know anything about Gundam. Apart from Big Mechs. But good. I'm very curious to see this completed. Then see all the pieces come together, I guess. So then I'll have a very clear image in my mind. But come along there, Chris. Nice one. Oh, Chris Gorka painted up a canoness for his Sisters of Battle Army. Looking very cool. I don't think I'd seen this many. I don't remember seeing this many at all with the full robes. But as I think somebody pointed out in the post, that purple looks great, and of course that purple-yellow balance is just working really well on this. All little gold pieces of gold trim, looking great as well. And let's just take a moment to appreciate all of those tiny, tiny silver buttons and studs around the model. Look at them all. So many of them. But again, excellent work, Chris. She's looking great. And I love that. Just love the fade on that sword. Or ombre, should I say ombre on that sword. Looks awesome. Nice work. Oh, Gavin Williams painting up epic Deathwing Terminators. So these guys are 6 millimeters, so 1/4 of an inch in height. They are tiny, which is why Gavin's got so many of them there. But again, like contrast paints are fantastic for something like this. If you prime them all white, hit them with like Skeleton Horde, something like that. You can paint, get the base color down on these really quickly, and then just go through and pick out all of those red bolter casings. But yeah, looking really good there, Gavin. I think, yeah, nicely done. Oh, Jake English. You can see Jake posting again. This is my last bust project that I'm very happy with, even though more could be done with her. Yep. No, I think things are just looking great. And so hopefully this isn't your last final one. Hopefully this is your latest bust project. But yeah, looking very good. So this goblin girl, I've seen quite a few variations on this. Some with like a goblin green sort of skin. But yeah, I'm liking the kind of the orangish tint to this one. And then echoing the so the color in her hair, ears, and dress there echoed also around the eyes. It's looking really good. That sort of desaturated red, which then pops nicely against those eyes. The irises, the color part of the eye there. But yep, nice work, Jake. They look great. Oh, she looks great. Sorry. Very cool. Okay. So JT's been doing a lot of work on Thousand Suns Terminators recently. I've been talking about the gold. So much gold. So this is a customs Thousand Sun sorcerer. Ooh. Sorry. But yes, custom Thousand Sun sorcerer. So the Thousand Suns back in the Horus Heresy time, so 10,000 years before Warhammer 40,000, had red and gold armor like this. So this is a sorcerer that has decided to keep with the old traditions rather than going for the blue and blues and golds and yellows. But yeah, coming along really nicely. I think it's a very cool looking piece on the shoulder pads. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
On the shoulder pads there, looks like a bit of a scarab design as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing this completed, JT. It's looking great. Nice work. There we go. Oh, Kelly has painted up Lilith by Bite the Bullet Studio. So I think this is a 3D print. I think Bite the Bullet Studio do a lot of 3D print, or 3D sculpts, digital sculpts, I guess. But yeah, look, this is looking very nice. Did we looked at a piece, I think, that Kelly had worked on, I'm not sure when, but that was similar to this one. But I'm really loving the depth that you've got in the sort of the fabric around the waist, the sort of the skirt, loincloth kind of combo. Just some great shading in there and weathering. Looking very nice. And working well with the that six-pack that she's got going on. Good work. Nice one. Laura Summerhill, Dita, is a long way to go. Astronaut bear. It's looking looking very cool. The bear is huge. I suppose if, like, you've got like the Golden Compass armored bear that you could ride. Why not have an astronaut bear you could ride around on the moon? How cool would that be?
That'd be very cool.
Yeah, just all the words, putting all those words together into that context is just great. But no, I'm loving this. Looking really nice. I love that orange that you've got on the visor there, and the sort of the hazard yellow on the back. Looking cool. Look forward to seeing this one completed. Nice work, Laura. Phil is working on a stomper. So the North Sea from, I can't see, but
Gear guts.
okay, gear guts.
Yeah.
Cool.
I dropped my mini.
Oh no.
Okay. Well, we can fade to black, and
It's okay.
there we go. Whoop, back. But yeah, Phil's working on this. So this is either a big resin piece or a digital, like a 3D print. But yeah, this is looking absolutely crazy. It looks very Tau in nature. So I wonder if the orcs have seen some Tau. Pardon me, big Tau suits and wanted to copy it. But yeah, coming along well. There's a lot of painting in this. A lot of painting. Nice work, Phil. Looks great. Oh, Samuel Dollar is painting up some, I think, World War II British. I think those helmets are British. But yeah, just going for a much smaller scale here, from that big Stomper project to a nice small field piece. So I think this is like an infantry support gun. And you're probably using this for bolt action or something like that. But yeah, it's looking really nice. So I'm loving the sort of the depth and the weathering you've got on the gun shield there, and the I've gone and forgotten it. The caisson, which is the other piece that sort of gets pulled around with the gun that holds all of the ammunition. But yeah, nice work there, Sam. Very cool. Oh, Seth Cross has been doing a little bit more work on the Lady Valerion. Can't quite see it. But coming along there, so some more, looks like a little bit more highlight on the bodice, but also adding that in that blue, a pale blue around her neck. It's yep, coming along there, nice and smooth so far, Seth. I'm looking forward to seeing where you take this. That's good. So just checking the chat quickly. Josh Potter says, if you had that many 28mm Terminators, it would cost you more than $12. Going back to Gavin's 6mm Terminators. You are exactly correct, Josh. But yeah, nice work, Seth. Oh, Sean Gleason has been painting up some Aeronautica Imperialis Marauder flyers. These are looking great. Marauder bombers are really, really nice. So these,
Oh. I'm cut out again.
oh, there we go. We got black, and she's back.
And I'm back.
Yay! Cool, you're back. Fantastic. But yes, the work on these, Sean, looks great. I love the your approach to the camouflage. So there's the sort of the silver base color of the planes, the dark silver, and then the that lighter gray, green gray camo stripe across there with where the edges have been stippled through with black. Yeah, looking really good. And it balances nicely with those the blue cockpit windows and the red tips on the weapons. Very nice. They look great on the table. Steve has painted up some carnival-themed D&D Halloween minis for a one-shot, or for a Halloween one-shot. Yes, because clowns are scary. I was thinking about that the other day. It's like, I think some clowns can be very scary. Most clowns for me, just fine. But some clowns, very scary. And yeah, I'm not sure I'd like to see that one with the cleaver and the pie. You don't really want to get hit by either a cream pie or a cleaver. But the skeletal jester looks great as well. Yep, nice work. I think your players are going to really enjoy the Halloween theme there. And I wonder, is that kind of some kind of like a fire starter brick there underneath the pumpkin, acting as a hay bale? Might be. I don't know. Great work, Steve. That look excellent. Last one. Oh, Tiny Terrain Campsite. This is by Ty. Ty Birmingham. Oh, is it Ty? No. Who did this one?
Oh, sorry. It's Jason.
It's Jason? Jason. Okay, cool. So, Jason, yes, we did get to your Tiny Terrain Campsite, which looks very cool. I think Jason was saying that he painted this up with some basic Walmart paints and some washes. But, yeah, looks very cool. You've got a lot of nice bits and pieces there. The matting's working well there underneath the your foodstuffs. And you see this sitting nicely next to a couple of tents. Very cool. Excellent work, Jason. Oh, there we go. Yes, I think that went up today.
Yeah, I just got it in.
Just before the show? Excellent. So, glad that we could squeeze that in there for you, Jason. Oh, Gretchen, your face is so close to the camera. So close. Oh.
That's because I have my MIDI on my laptop. I'm like using it as a I'm also chasing the cat figured out that I have cans of cat food and he doesn't have opposable thumbs.
Struggling to use that can opener? Yeah.
Well, they're sitting here on top of the table, the dining room table.
Okay.
And obviously, it is just extremely rude of me to not help him open them.
It is terribly rude. Terribly rude. Excellent.
He's causing a bit of mischief, but...
Cool. Excellent. Well, I did say that after we had a look at the minis, that I was going to have a quick chat about the Army Painter air paints. But I do just want to say thank you very much to everybody who submitted, who posted their minis up on the group this week and submitted them to Leona for showing off tonight. Very cool to see them all and see the wide variety of projects that people are working on, how they're coming along. As Gretchen mentioned before, seeing people say, this is the first time I've worked on this, and they're absolutely nailing the techniques. Like the OSL from Ashlyn was super cool. But yeah, thank you very much, everybody, for posting. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep painting. But yes, going to talk about the air paints now. So, oh, and Leona's just posted in the chat a link to the Painting Happy Little Minis Facebook group. So come and join us if you are not currently a member.
Okay, so which pictures are that? Not the big one.
No, you can show the picture with the... oh, okay, yeah, we can show these pictures first.
Okay.
So basically, if anybody's been checking out my Instagram recently, I've been working on a like tractor trailer kind of situation for Warhammer 40,000 using some 40k bits. Using these, going to be creating some terrain out of these for one of my armies. So I've got that going on. But yeah, so I had these primed up at the beginning of the week, and then the air paints arrived. I received a box of the basically all of the air paints. from the Army Painter. So thank you very much to the Army Painter team for that. I also received a starter box of the air paints, which is 12 paints. We've got a picture of it. We can, I think Leona's shown already, but we can show again, that we're going to give away. So Leona's going to be sorting out the giveaway for tomorrow. Is that right, Leona?
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. Cool. So there are 12 different air paints here, and plus that much larger air primer there of the matte grey. So all of those paints are sort of their usual sort of standard size. They have a gold lid, so you can pick them out when you're rummaging through your cardboard box full of paints, like I do all the time. But yep, and as you can see there, it says on the box, mixing balls preloaded in every 18 ml bottle. So it's gonna, you can hear that rattling around. But the idea with these is that they're pre-thinned. They're thinned to the point where basically you don't need to add your own thinners into it when you put them in the airbrush. So yeah, on Monday I decided to try it out and give it a go. So that first picture that Leona had, or that Leona was showing, was the kind of the Torox Prime that I have here. That is the tractor part of the tractor trailer. So I painted that with the console blue. So it was primed black. Then I hit it with the console blue. The pigmentation on it was really good. So it basically covered and gave me that like a nice solid pale blue with like 1.5 coats, really. Some areas it was just like the first pass, just covered it beautifully. So great solid color pigment in there, which is really nice. And then I mixed in, basically I put some of the console blue in my airbrush cup, I poured in some of the white, and then closed it and gave it a good shake, and then just used that to highlight some areas like the front of the fenders, the top of the turret there, the top of basically anywhere that the light was going to catch. So I did that sort of thing first. So that worked well, and then I moved on to the next picture.
The brown one?
Yep. So in the big box, they have a bunch of different metallic paints as well. So they have most of the paints are set up as triads. So that, sorry, I should have mentioned it while we're looking at the other picture. Can we go back to that first one?
Yep.
Leona's going to punch me afterwards, I can tell. So on that one, you can see on the console blue, I can't quite see it behind the thing, but it has a little, there's a little red hexagon, and it will either say base, mid, or high, or light, one of the two. But that's so you can quickly identify it for the triads that they have, which is really neat. Cat asks, so they are paints, not inks? Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, not inks. They are definitely paints. But yeah, so you don't have to use them in those triads. You can pick and mix them as much as you like. So they have those set up if you want to use those. But going back to the trailer part, I used the two of the metallic paints that they have. So the rough iron, which is kind of a little bit darker than tinny tin, but it's probably it's the closest equivalent in those two ranges. But no surprise really that I would reach for the tinny tin to base coat some metal. So I used that first, and I was worried that because typically metallics have a larger flake, so they can show that reflectivity. I was worried that it was going to come out sort of a little bit spattery or struggle to go through the airbrush, but they've done a really good job with working with these, and I didn't have a single problem with the rough iron or the plate mail. It's got really nice sort of smooth finishes on there. You can see on the top of that piece there how smooth they are. But yeah, then I hit the the rims as well, the wheels. And then the next part of it was the cargo container that sits on the back. So I think we have a photo of, yep, we have a photo of that in a different format. But so yeah, this one I used the molten orange. So again, over a black primer, I used molten orange first and basically worked. So I left some of the black in the shadows. If you look underneath, I do have some spattering on there. Yeah, the spattering wasn't deliberate, and wasn't actually a function of the paints themselves. This is because this was actually the first piece that I did, but I hadn't cleaned out my airbrush well enough from the previous time, so I was getting some spattering when I was doing that. So I struggled through that first layer, and then decided, okay, I'm going to give my airbrush a clean, gave it a good clean, and then started working through again. And then once I got the molten orange down, I gave it the highlight of the mid-tone there. The molten orange is the base in that triad. The mid-tone is lava orange. And then rather than going for the highlight color, I wanted to go for something that was a little bit more intense. And so that tangerine orange, I think it's called tangerine orange, I can't quite see it from here. But I went for that as the highlight. But that also forms that particular paint is the base color for another triad that they have that ends in yellow. So again, mixing and matching there to get the right thing. So you can see some of that.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yep. Basically, like after that molten orange, when I realized, okay, I hadn't cleaned this out well enough from the previous time, it went. I cleaned it out, and then I didn't have to do a lot of cleaning until the end of the painting. It was easy just to sort of rinse out my cup and spurt a little bit of water and clean it through. But yeah, so I was able to do that. And I didn't have to thin a single one of them. They all went straight in out of the pot. I wanted to check it out, make sure it worked the way that they said it worked, and it did. So that was really cool. I'm glad that I could. Well, we can't actually show you airbrushing on the show because we don't have a compressor and a line that we can put outside the room, so there isn't that constant of the air compressor going. But it is nice to be able to show you some results. Sorry, checking out there. Ashton, just checking the the chat for a second. Ashton said, I had an entire airbrush and compressor set sitting brand new on my closet. Been too afraid to set it up and try. Might be time to try another first. Definitely grab it out and give it a go, Ashlyn. Do it on something that you're not particularly worried about and just experiment, practice. I just lost my earpiece. Practice as much as you can. Spray from far away, spray from close. Just get a piece of cardboard and spray around and try and write your name with it, do that sort of thing. But definitely a lot of fun to mess around with. And you can get some really quick results too. I think so spraying the base coat on this one took me like no time. It took maybe, I won't say no time, it took maybe like 4 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes, and then throw in the white, shake it up. And so basically within 5 or 6 minutes, I had the base color down for this piece, which was really nice. Paul Woodman says, looks like that container is screaming for a thinned wash of Nuln oil. Just put it, says, yep, awesome streaking effects from MiG or AK. Yeah, definitely. It needs a wash and some chipping and some grime streaking, and then those skulls picked out. So still some work to go on that, but I have 2 of these, so I'll probably work on them both at the same time. Yep. JT says, great work. Football time, got to run. See you next week. Go Bucks. See you, JT. Have a good one. Cat Swift says, quick tip for cleaning an airbrush, hit with carburetor cleaner. Fiddly bits in tiny places, then hit with regular cleaner, so easy to complete. I'll have to check that out then. James says, I have a 3-gallon air compressor that will work. Yes, 3-gallon air compressor is huge. I couldn't tell you how big mine is, but it's not that big. One thing I'm going to say, you can see the blue on the screen for the down in this corner of the screen. There we go. Is quite vibrant there. It's quite poppy. I didn't want it to be that vibrant. I needed to desaturate it a little bit. So what I did afterwards was I got some soft tone from the Army Painter. It's very similar to like Serphon Sepia wash. But yeah, the soft tone from the Army Painter. I put some of that into my airbrush and I sprayed it on all over the blue to give it a tint. Normally, it's a similar technique to what people would use for an oil wash. So they'd hit the piece with like a gloss varnish first. I didn't hit it with the gloss varnish at all, but I used the same physical techniques. So I spray the wash all over it, and then I wiped it off the top surfaces. But because I hadn't sealed the top surfaces, or any of the surfaces actually, it tinted them, and it really knocked back the blueness of it. So it gave it like a really nice filter on the side. But you can see this soft tone in the crevices there, where my paper towel didn't catch. But then I took this one to completion, worked on this this afternoon, and yeah, doing some sponge chipping, just a little bit of painted on, rust streaking, nothing too fancy, but yeah. Also, all of the metallics there, I base coated using the rough iron and a paintbrush. So, just because I wanted to see what that was like as well, and it's because it's designed to go through an airbrush, nice and liquidy. It just paints on really smooth, and it's got really great coverage. So, it was really nice. So, there we go. I think it looks pretty good on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the brake lights in the little Gothic arches there. And then, of course, the most fun there was painting those hazard stripes on the cabling there. But yeah, so very happy with that. I've got another one of these to finish off. I've already done the basically the wash, like spraying on the soft tone and wiping it off. But yeah, so lots of cool stuff you can do with the new Army Painter air paints, and even using some of their existing washes to run them through an airbrush. So yeah, tomorrow, I think on the Painting Happy Little Minis group. Do you think, Leona?
Yes.
Yep. So the Painting Happy Little Minis group will have a giveaway competition of some kind.
Yes, make sure you check out the Painting Happy Little Minis Facebook page, because that's where we will have the giveaway, and we will have that running for a couple weeks. So,
Cool.
make sure you enter. And after the show, I'm gonna put it up tomorrow. That's what's gonna happen.
Yes.
Not right after the show.
Not immediately after the show. No, we're going to go home and sleep immediately after the show. But yeah, even if you don't win, I checked on this today. So the box set of all of the air paints that I got, I think is $170. That's 60 some paints in there. 64 paints, I think. So pretty good deal. Very good deal, actually. And the starter set is I think $38 or $39.99. So just under $40. Again, releasing this month for 12 paints and the bottle of primer. So again, another great value deal from the folks at Army Painter. Right at the end there, I sounded like an infomercial, right? Yeah. But no, definitely cool stuff. So thanks to the Army Painter team for sending this along. And hopefully in December or January, we'll be able to show off the speed paints as well. They're going great guns at the moment. And I think it's their 14th anniversary this year. So definitely cool. They've been around for quite a while. Yes. So thank you very much. Just what it says, no doubt, James. I would suggest a line dryer if you don't already have one. So when you say line dryer, Josh, do you mean a what do you call it? Like a midline moisture trap? I was talking about those last week, I think. Kat says, my friend uses airbrushes daily with paints and inks, his business, and swears by this tip. Must be hit with regular cleaner to get the carb out. Yeah, for sure. I think the so probably the carburetor cleaner would interact in interesting ways with the acrylic paints, I think, as you put them back through. But yeah, good tip. Wyatt says, I'm late. Why is Dave using a hobby holder? That's a very good question, Wyatt. I'm using one because Kat's in the chat. Actually, no, it's when I arrived, Leona had everything set up with the mini already in the holder. So I'm going to blame Leona for it.
Woohoo! It's me!
Excellent. Jason said, with my luck, that'll be the giveaway. I win, and then I'll have to buy an airbrush. That might be the case there, Jason. That might be the case.
That's so funny.
Yep. Way to be half empty there. Airbrushes are handy. Paul says, it looks really good. I tried typhus corrosion on the bottom of a Freightliner conversion of a Dark Future upscale to 1/24th scale. It worked pretty well for dirt and grime. Yep. A lot of the GW technical paints, they're kind of designed for that kind of thing, and they do work well even outside of their directly intended use. One that I like, it just happened to be there, is for doing rust streaking is red leather. So it's not super orange, but when you thin it down, you can get a great sort of streaking effect with it. So if you've got if you stipple on some charred brown or that kind of thing, you can stipple some red leather over the top for patches of rust. But then this is great for the streaking. Good. Yep. James said I had to buy a second regulator to get 3 to 5 pounds line pressure. Oh, okay. Interesting. I think with my small one I'm using, because it's smaller and the line is probably a lot shorter than yours, it gets, you usually use it at around the 15 to 20 psi. But Josh says, yes, Dave, exactly that. Line dryer, moisture trap. Different words for the same thing. Dave Hummel says, looking forward to hopefully setting my airbrush this fall, winter, and getting priming done super fast. Yeah, definitely. Almost as fast as using a giant brush. If you don't know what that's about, head back to the beginning of the show. Paul says, I hadn't thought of using the red leather. I may have to give that a try. Definitely. I would say thumbs up. Oh, Jay says it's rated for 100 psi. That would put down a lot of paint very quickly. 100 psi. But that's the fun part about airbrushing is working out what what pressure is going to work best for you. And when I say the fun part, I mean the not at all fun part. It's almost another hobby in itself. And there we go. How's that look?
I like that.
Yeah. Not too crazy. I think it's time to add some color in with some pops of color up there with the feathers.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yep. So probably I do a little bit of red around his mouth first. Get that out of the way. So we've got the tongue in there. How's it coming along, Gretchen?
Well, if I stop dropping it, it's coming along pretty well. I have so you can't quite tell, but
Oh, cool.
here we go. So I have the back that I'm trying to do kind of like an open, icy kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I don't know right now if it looks more like ice or electricity, but that's okay. There's a few spots though on the tail that I think really came out with kind of that almost glowing, icy,
Okay. Kind of like glacial ice.
Yes, that's
Kind of
that's
thing? Okay.
exactly what I was thinking of. Thank you for having
Cool.
words.
No worries.
Kind of glacial vibe. So that's really cool. I like how that ended up happening. There's definitely like a gloss where I used contrast versus where I've used, I think it's the Vallejo paints.
Right.
And how they just kind of settled on this little dinosaur. So that's really interesting because it kind of heightens that glacial ice vibe that I was going for. So yeah, definitely some things I really like. Definitely some things that I'd want to kind of fiddle with. I think I would have been more successful with this theme had I looked up reference pictures.
Okay.
But instead, we're just winging it, and ultimately, it still looks cool either way. So,
Yeah, winging it is fine. Absolutely fine. That's what I'm about to do on these feathers. Just to wing it. But
so a little icy velociraptor friend.
yeah. One thing I'm not sure, folks might have noticed that there, but well, I've got a lot of Vallejo and Army Painter paints in front of me, but I do have some GW paints as well. Caliban Green, Warpstone Glow, and Moot Green. I've always really loved the intensity and the coverage of GW, the Citadel greens. They're really consistently good. So most of my greens that I use are, unless I'm using like U.S. drab or U.S. Army green, I consistently use the Citadel colors, Citadel greens. So just going to get started on the feathers. But again, that's just personal preference. And I'll throw that down here as well. I've got nice range of greens there, and I'll probably end up with some yellow involved in those as well. So those dry for a little bit, and I think I'm going to, on the snake head here, there are eyes. So I think I'm going to go with a kind of a red gemstone kind of look for those, which should be fun. Then I get to pick out the teeth, and it will be almost done. I'm probably going to leave the, I think I'll leave the sort of the shaft of the banner black there. Just going to look all right. So now, because I've got a lot of... sorry?
I was gonna see if I have enough juice on my phone to send a picture to Leona.
That'd be cool. Good to see. There we go. But yeah, actually, when I finish up the trailer to go with this piece, I'll post a picture in the group so folks can see how that's coming along. This past week as well, I've been working on a piece for a Secret Santa that I'm doing with some friends, and I almost finished. I'm really at the point where I want to post pictures of it online, but because it's a secret, I can't really reveal it just yet. So I'm gonna have to wait for that one. But that was definitely a fun thing to do. We did it last year as well. So. Okay. Now back to the green. And because these feathers have got some great sort of texture in there, I'm just going to kind of overbrush. So not really dry brush, but I'm just going to run the paintbrush over the edges and catch some of that texture. I'm not doing a great job of it, but thankfully the camera isn't really picking that up.
Yeah, there's definitely some bits where I'm like, huh, but there's definitely other bits where like,
There are your two thoughts, huh? And hmm.
Yes.
Well, I guess at least one of them isn't, oh my god!
No. I don't hate him.
Okay. That's good.
I just wish I could elevate the bits of him that I liked
Okay.
more. Yeah.
Cool.
Here we go.
Oh, cool.
There you go. Yeah.
Excellent. Yep. That's looking really good. With the so the parts that aren't the blue there,
Mm-hmm.
is that like a cream sort of color, like a warm color?
That is ivory.
Ivory.
I
Okay.
think there's just a lot of yellow light
Right. Yeah.
in my house.
Okay.
So yeah, that's like a very light ivory, and it's actually just dry brushed up at the top there, down, and then it goes into more of that blue on his feet, because I thought it'd be cool if his claws looked a little bit more like that kind of glacial hardened ice,
Yeah.
and not like snow.
Right. Yep.
So yeah,
That does look really cool. Very
it
nice.
looks a little bit like lightning, but there are bits of it that get that glow, and I'm like, we are so close to something. Don't know what that is.
Excellent. Yeah, I think it's looking very cool. Excellent. Kat says, got to get set up for the Dodgers game. Great to be able to catch up with you nighttime live. Very cool. Take care, and everyone, please be safe. We will, Kat. Thanks very much for joining us. Enjoy the Dodgers game. It's the Dodgers Giants, I guess. Is this game 4? Game 5?
I don't
Sure.
know. I don't follow the sports ball.
But yeah, enjoy. Oh, yeah. Cool. There we go. But no, that's looking great, Gretchen. I think it's very cool. And I love the like the variety of hue and shade through the blues.
I'm gone.
You gone? Oh. And screen will go to black.
Don't worry.
We'll be back. Yep. Cat says, Game 5,
I'm back.
must win. You're back. Great. Excellent. Excellent. I was saying I love the blue, like the variants in the blues and also in the shades through that blue in the back there. Gives a much more sort of realistic kind of look. You expect to see that sort of modeling on a real life velociraptor.
On a real life velociraptor.
On a real
life snow velociraptor.
Yep. Makes it very believable. Cool. Okey-dokey. We have about 5 or 6 minutes to go. And I could tell because we're moving into that the quiet
quiet zone.
Yeah. Definitely good. Dave almost says, night, all dinner.
No.
Be well and safe. We will. We will keep as safe as we can. There we go. Yeah, a little bit of yellow on the edges and tips of these feathers. They've got a lot of nice sort of blend of greens through them. There's a good look there. And time to go for the red on the eyes. And then I get to paint the teeth, and I'll be done, basically. Hooray! I think what I'd come back and do a little bit later is put some gloss varnish on the eyeballs of the totem and in the mouth of the lizard man himself, the Saurus warrior. Just going to pop a little bit of black in there for the eyes. And of course, it's at this moment that I realize that he has a little medallion kind of thing hanging underneath his chin. So let's just quickly get that done. I didn't see that before. There we go. A little bit of tuny tin, some brassy brass. All working well. Yay! There we go. Yep. Nice and quick. And then the teeth. I know you told us, and I think you sent it a schedule, but what are we going to be working on next week? Do you remember? Do you know what we're working on next week, Leona?
We've lost Leona.
Leona has left the building. No! Well, she might have actually done that. She might have actually gone. I can't see her from here.
She's left you. I'm at home.
Yeah. Maybe she's on her way to your place. That could be it. That's what that is. Curses. And there's another section, a little bracer, a little van brace that I didn't notice. I get to paint that too. We got Paul Wildman says, just thinking about an electrically charged velociraptor is giving me chills. Yes. It doesn't sound like a good idea, does it? I much prefer the idea of a very cold reptile.
Like, I just imagine if I was doing some kind of game that had a snowy environment, how fun that would be, because the last thing your players would expect would be snow velociraptors or ice raptors.
Ice raptors? Yeah, that's true. That's true. Cool. There we go. I think I got that.
And I just
Find all these
imagine
little-
them like hiding,
Like what?
hiding in the ice. You'd be like, you
Excellent.
have to roll perception, and they just like spring forward out of nowhere.
That doesn't sound pleasant. Doesn't sound pleasant at all. I suppose they're not there to be pleasant though, right?
Of course not.
Being the mercenary that I am, I immediately started to think, what sort of treasure would velociraptors have? Like, what would be the benefit of, like, you're going through a icy cavern and you come across the velociraptors and you fight them. What treasure do you get afterwards? Would you get?
I don't know.
Would they be?
I feel like they're one of this poor delay making us talk. I feel like they would be like one of those creatures that doesn't necessarily they're not necessarily protecting anything. It just so happens that something is hidden where they live.
Okay. I'd be wondering if they were going to be a little bit like like dragons, like mini dragons, so they would hoard something. So they'd hoard something, but maybe they wouldn't hoard gold. Maybe it's like they like a particular, like they'd hoard purple feathers. So they'd have to go out and find purple feathers. Or it might be different for each one. I don't know. There we go. We've got the spinner going. But at the moment, it has an unpainted model in it. I'm going to get that. Yep. There we go. So, now that we've got the spinner, I'll reach over. My dude on the spinner. Looks pretty good. Let's get in nice and close.
That's very good.
Yep. I wouldn't have been able to get him finished if I didn't use that large brush. So thank you everybody who jumped on at the beginning of the stream and said use a bigger brush. I might have got him finished, but yeah.
Yeah, he looks great.
I think it's all right. Looks all right. Yeah, I think it's nice. There's just enough sort of flash in that banner, but it's not over the top. It's not garish. Yeah. No, I like that. Betsy says, looks
Hey.
awesome. Cool. Thanks very much, Betsy. But yeah, so just quickly, the paints I used, the dark Prussian blue was the base coat that I painted on the Saurus Warrior. There was a dry brush with blue-green from Vallejo, and then I mixed in some yellow and some ivory into that for the final light dry brush. The tinny tin and brassy brass for the brass metallics, and I mixed in a little bit of plate mail metal, or you could use shining silver from the army painter, or just a bright silver for the highlights on the metals. Beige brown and ivory for the bone parts, burnt red, bloody red for the red sections. Then Caliban green, Warpstone glow, moot green, and sun yellow. That might be all of them. Black. I used some black as well. But yeah, came out nicely. And so another dinosaur painting episode has come to an end.
Yes, exactly as planned.
Excellent. Very cool. Sorry, just quickly to wrap up with the chat. So Tim must have signed out but he's using Betsy's account here. Tim here. Sorry, we've not been talking to you all much. We're painting our orc hunters. Still watching though. That's good. Keep painting those orc hunters. They're going to look fantastic. Jason says all their precious previous victims' stuff. So it's just sort of piled high around, or just maybe not high, but it's just like the floor is carpeted in victims' leavings because they would kill them and then devour them out of their clothes, out of their armor. That's the way they do it. I think that'd be good. Betsy says looks awesome. Ashlyn says another awesome show. Thank you very much, folks. We do enjoy doing it. But I'll throw back to Gretchen to take us out.
All right, guys. Well, hopefully I will be in studio next week. And we'll be able to see you next time on Painting Happy Little Minis. Have an excellent evening, guys.